What's up, guys, and welcome to this week's International Marquee Matchup Challenges. We have again 4 different challenges featuring Champions League and Europa League matches, and specifically we have Napoli versus Real Madrid, where obviously Real Madrid made it to the quarterfinal. We have Barcelona versus Paris, which was a crazy game. Paris obviously winning the first game 4-0, and then Barcelona made a comeback and won the second one 6-1 and also made it to the quarterfinal. Then we have 2 matches from the Europa League. We have Lyon versus Roma and Copenhagen versus Ajax Amsterdam. Overall, these marquee matchups that provide us with 4 gold packs and 1 silver pack. And I'll say we start with the one that rewards us with the silver pack, which is the Copenhagen and Ajax one. As you can see from my team, this is that is definitely the easiest one from the 4 challenges. It's a full bronze team. You need to have at least 1 Ajax player in your team and to have at least 1 Copenhagen player in your team. Other than that, you only need 2 rare players and you're basically done as long as you have the 85 chemistry. So what I did, I do the bronze pack method basically every day. So I have a lot of players from the Danish league. Obviously, I had to use 1 player from Copenhagen. And then I basically built a full Danish league team around him. Obviously, you need 1 Ajax player. I'll play him totally out of position, but with the rest of the team being basically fully chemistry team because of the league, that they're all from the same league. It doesn't really matter as long as you have 1 Ajax player in your team. You should be fine no matter where you play him and what position he is from. We get 98 chemistry, you only need 85 obviously, so that is perfectly fine. There is no rating requirement as long as you have 2 rare players, which is in this case my center back and my right back. You are fine to submit this squad. We get a premium silver players pack from this one, which is, as I said before, the only silver pack from these challenges here. Let's move to the next Europa League match, the Lyon versus Roma challenge. A little bit more difficult. You need to have at least 1 Lyon player in your team, which fortunately for me is French, and the Roma player is also French. And as you can see from the kit that he's wearing, he was playing for Lyon before, so they already have a perfect, not a perfect link, but they have a decent link, and they are from different leagues. So you can basically build on both players here. Other than that, you can have at most 6 players from the same league. So they ask you basically to build a hybrid team out of 2 leagues at least. And you need 90 chemistry. And in this case, you also have a rating requirement, which is 98 in this case. And as you can see in the top right corner, we manage both requirements perfectly. We get 1 additional chemistry point, but that's not an issue, obviously. So what did I do? I used a couple of Calcio A players. My striker is Niang, who's still the old version, the Milan version. He now plays for Watford, but he's French and he's from the Serie A, so he forms a perfect link with the Roma player. Then I have a couple of Italian players here as well. They're Argentinian, but they all play for they play in the Calcio A. So the center back, the other center back from Fiorentina, and my goalkeeper. And then I use the Argentinian Calcio A player to connect him to 2 other Argentinian players from the Argentinian and Mexican league respectively. And on the other side, I use the French player from the Ligue 1 to connect him to another French player from the championship and use him to connect him to another championship player. Pretty random team in terms of leagues, so a bunch of leagues, but just make sure that you combine leagues also wisely. So I use French leagues here to combine 2 different leagues, and I need, in this case, Argentinian and Argentinian links to combine 3 different leagues and still get quite a bit of chemistry. We're done with this team, so let's submit this for a rare gold pack in this case and move on to the 2 Champions League matches. Let's start with Napoli versus Real Madrid. We need 2 Napoli players, we need 2 Madrid players. So for Madrid, I use the old version of the right back. He's now 80 rated and I also have in my club, so I'm perfectly fine with submitting his 79 version. I also have a silver center mid from Real Madrid, so I don't really have to submit any high-rated players here, at least from Madrid. From Napoli, I use a center-back duo, so I have Koulibaly and the Spanish equivalent on the other side, and then I use a Spanish goalkeeper to get a little bit of chemistry as well. The rest of the team is basically Italian or Spanish to connect basically the players that I have already. And in this case, you need a 90 chemistry team, which is perfectly met in this case. You need a 80 rated squad, which we also perfectly meet. And you need to have exactly 3 different leagues. So apart from the Calcio A, whatever you've seen before, and the Liga BBVA, I have 1 Italian player from the Bundesliga to complete this requirement as well. Let's submit this one for a premium gold players pack and move on to the final challenge of this week's international marquee matchup set. The Barcelona versus Paris one is obviously the one that gives us also a pretty nice pack, just by given that the two best ones out of this week's marquee matchup set. We need to have at least one Barcelona player, which is our striker in this case. We need to have at least one Paris player, which is our left back, and you need to have at least 4 different nationalities. So we use this Brazilian player to connect him to a bunch of Serie A players. Obviously by now I'm fine with submitting Serie A players. I'm done with the challenge. I got the Higuain card, which is amazing, by the way, guys. I was stuck in Division 5. I used Higuain and I made it to Division 3. I use a full BPL team and I bring him on basically in the first minute, and he's banging goals in left and right. He's definitely worth completing the challenge for. So as I said before, now I'm fine with submitting all the Calcio players because I don't need them anymore. I use a couple of players from Inter, Fiorentina, Juventus, Lazio, and another Lazio player, which gives a nice amount of chemistry. Perfectly fine. And I use another Spanish player from Liga BBVA to get some chemistry out of the Barcelona striker. Let's submit this one for a jumbo premium gold pack in this case. And with that team being submitted, we also complete the overall challenge, which will reward us with another gold pack. That is, in this case, a prime gold players pack. Also, check out the channel if you're interested in the new hybrid challenges that EA just released tonight. They feature North American and South American nations, and they're pretty rewarding. The South American version gives you packs worth 180,000 coins, guys. So it's definitely worth completing those challenges. Let's open the packs that we just got from the marquee matchup set, though. Let's start with the silver one, a premium silver players pack. Obviously, a decent pack this year with all the squad building challenges out there. We get McNair from the BPL. Let's see whether we get any other player worth mentioning or players that we need for squad building challenges. We're done with the Italian one. We're done with the Belgian one as well. We're done with the MLS one as well. So in this case, we don't have any player that will be useful for us. Maybe the English player or the player from North Ireland in this case. But other than that, this pack is a pretty average pack in terms of the players that are in there. We'll definitely sell those two boys once we're done with the video. But for now, let's move on to the 4 remaining gold packs. We have a jumbo premium gold pack, a rare gold pack, premium gold pack, and then obviously the main event, the prime gold players pack. Let's start with the jumbo premium gold pack, 15k pack. Obviously a bunch of consumables in there, but maybe also some decent players. We get an Argentinian center forward. We get Perotti from Roma, 80 rated player. So let's check the other players quickly. We get Palios from Bordeaux. That is pretty decent for the Ligue 1 squad building challenge, which I still haven't completed yet. And the other players, a Mexican player as well, so he will go into the Liga Bancomer challenge. A pretty decent pack, and obviously a bunch of consumables that will be useful over time. Bonera, a decent player actually this year for squad building challenges, given that he's Italian and from the Liga BBVA, so you can use him in a pretty nice way to combine the 2 different leagues, Liga BBVA and Calcio A, that is. 3 more packs to go through. Let's go with the rare gold pack first. So obviously this is not the players version, but the general version, so there's a bunch of bunch of consumables in here as well. And the best player is Butland. That's not too bad. I've used him in my current team, in the BPL team that I'm running. He's definitely worth buying, guys. If you don't have him, he's definitely worth considering. I was using Bravo before, which I think is 84 rated. And Butland only being 82 rated, but he's definitely the better player. Bravo made errors, like not over and over, but he made errors constantly. And Butland has made some outstanding saves for me, so he's definitely worth having in your club if you obviously use a BPL team. We also got Fellaini. Not sure that he'll make it to the team. Semedo is useful for the Liga NOS challenge, because for some of them you can use players from other teams as well, and obviously Semedo is one of those options. Let's send Butland to the transfer list. He will definitely sell. I know a lot of players use him in case they're using BPL teams. And now we have 2 more packs to go through. Let's go with the premium gold players pack first, and then we have the main event, the prime gold players pack. Di Maria on the pack, and we get a bigger flare, the first big flare of the day. We've done a couple of, and we get Smalling. That's not too bad, guys. Smalling, he will definitely sell. We have him in the team already, but he will definitely sell. As I was saying before, while we just check Smalling's price, I did a couple of packs opening before, and Karius, I think he has a new picture. We opened a couple of packs from the North American and the South American tour, and we didn't pull any big flair player. Especially in the pack opening where we got packs worth 180,000 coins, which is the South American one. I was pretty disappointed not having any players in my packs that were creating a big flair. Let's see how much he goes for. 24 being the upper cap for him. He goes for, well, seems like he goes for like 15k. That's not too bad. Definitely the best player we've pulled so far today. And I sell him once I'm done with the video. Let's quickly go through the other players that we have right here. A bunch of Premier League players in here. Moya and Karius, obviously nice additions to the team as well. Basically all players above 80 are useful for squad building challenges, especially if they're from the 4 big leagues or the 5-1 ones. So I'm happy with this pack. But obviously there's one more pack to go, which is the main event of this video, the Prime Gold Players pack. 12 cards in 12 players in here, 10 of them being gold, 6 of them being rare, and obviously you want the rare ones to be the gold ones. Let's see what we get. Hopefully another bigger flair. However, what a pack opening day for me it is. No big flair. We had Volland, the Leverkusen striker, 81 rated. So apparently EA only provided us with one big flair of the day. We had Heung-min Son, who also got a new picture. Other than that, let's quickly check the leagues here though. One Liga NOS player, so that's not too bad. Another Liga NOS player, but I'm already done with the Sporting team, but he'll fit in nicely for the other team, in the other teams where you can use players from other teams. So that's not too bad, but obviously for Prime Gold Players pack, it could be better. But I guess it's one of those days. Let's send all those boys to the club and send all the others to the transfer market. I think they'll all sell, so they're from decent leagues and also from decent teams, at least the 2 rare gold ones. So they will all sell over time. We're done with this pack opening, guys. Let me know what you pulled in this week's international marquee matchup set. Obviously tomorrow is Friday, so there will be another marquee matchups most likely with this weekend's matchups from the individual leagues. Hopefully there will be some nice rewards in there as well, but for now we're done, guys. Let me know what you pulled and I will see you in tomorrow's marquee matchup video. See you guys.